Alright everyone, so this is the abandoned motel just off of Highway 89 in Gray Mountain, Arizona, about 40 miles north of Flagstaff. This old motel is definitely full of a bunch of vibrant colors, and we're going to walk around and see if we can get inside. If we can, awesome. If not, then oh well. The biggest thing I want to do is take a look at all this artwork because it looks pretty stunning. So the game plan was, I was actually going to walk up there and take a look up there and see if we could go in, but it does look like everything's boarded up, and it looks like this is sealed off right here. I mean, it's not a high security fence or anything like that, but if they don't want us up there, we won't go up there. You can see all the different colors and strokes if they used a paintbrush, and if you look in the pupil of the eye, it's actually a sunset or a sunrise. Quick fun fact about this hotel is I was actually here about a couple years ago. I stopped in on my way back from the Grand Canyon, and when I did, it did not look anything like this. I mean, some of the artwork was here, but a lot of it wasn't, and they didn't have it boarded off either. A lot of these, well, boards right here weren't even there, so you could walk into a lot of the hotel rooms. And when I went in there, I saw a lot of sleeping bags and like half-eaten canned food items. It looked like, someone could have potentially been living there. And if you guys want to see that video, I'll put that card in the upper right-hand corner. Now, even though we couldn't get into this abandoned hotel, there actually is 2 more abandoned hotels just down the road. So we're going to pack it up here and check those out. All right, so here's the other abandoned hotel that's just down the road. This one isn't as vibrant and artistic as the other one, but I figured we'd walk around and check it out. It looks like this one's pretty well boarded up too. But we'll walk around the property and walk around the paths that other tourists once walked on back in the day. All right, now we're at the old Anasazi Inn and Pool. All right, so this would have been the rec area back here. Obviously, they have the pool. Looks like they would have had a little grilling station over there. Yep, it's starting to get chilly when there's ice in the pool. Some say pool, I say skate park. Neat little bicycle graphic there. BMX bike. If you clean this out, sand it down a little bit, this would be a pretty cool skate park. Kind of reminds me of that movie Lords of Dogtown. Poke our head in here real quick and see what's inside. Not a whole lot, just looks like some lighting fixtures and a bed. And something that goes beep. Looks pretty vacant, just looks like 2 queen-size beds. And an old school box TV. Well, it's considered old school now. Kind of makes you wonder, out of all the hotel doors here, none of them have bars on, except for this one. What, did the president stay here or something? You can see some more artwork over there in the distance. Traffic's been pretty busy here today, back and forth. There may have been a couple times where it kind of died down, but there's been trucks, cars, semis going nonstop. Another trading post over there in the distance. Looks like it hasn't been open in quite a few years. Not a whole lot is known about the motels in Gray Mountain, Arizona, but I was able to find a little history on a couple of them, so here it goes. Now, this motel you see right here was originally called the Whiting Brothers Motel of Gray Mountain, Arizona. I couldn't find a date on when it first opened, but I did find a blog post, and someone had commented that they actually stayed there back in 1989, so at least we know it goes back that far. Also, here's an old photo of the motel from a postcard. This may also provide a little bit more insight to its years of operation because I'm pretty sure that's a Chevelle in the photo. Chevelles were muscle cars that first came out in the 1960s and were manufactured all the way up until the mid-70s. However, the motel did close its doors in January of 2005 and it's since then been taken over by the Painted Desert Project. And according to jetsonorama.net, I hope I pronounced that correctly, the Painted Desert Project actually connects public artists with communities through mural opportunities on the Navajo Nation. And if you want to learn a little bit more about them, I'll post their link down in the description below. Now, as far as the Anasazi Inn goes, this is what I was able to uncover. This one, at one of its earliest points, was opened in the 1960s, and we know that because of this. Right here is an old postcard that I found on the web, and it references the 1960s. And if you look at the sign on it here and compare it with another postcard that I found on the web, you can tell that these signs here are the exact same. Now, I would guess that all three of these motels opened up around the same time. And the last time I was up here, I saw a notice on one of the windows at the Anasazi Inn referencing the hours of operation, and it actually had the year on it that said, as of 2013. I also found another blog post where someone mentioned that they believed it closed between the years of 2011 and 2013, so it had about a good 50-year run. Now, I couldn't find any concrete facts detailing why they closed, but here's my take on it. My belief is that they were first built to cash in on the opportunity of tourists traveling to and from the Grand Canyon and Page, Arizona. Over time, they probably saw a lot of success and growth, but I also think that they maybe got in a little over their heads and just didn't quite get the traffic that they thought they would. Over time, this probably caused numbers to drop, costs had to be cut, and eventually they just ended up pulling the plug and scrapping the operation. Another blog post revealed that someone recalled seeing a bunch of 2-star reviews on TripAdvisory back in the day. And hey, nothing will bring down your business like a bad review. Now, Gray Mountain might seem like a ghost town at first glance, but not completely. There is still a small gas station there that is in operation, and from what I could see on my drone, it seems like there is a small number of residents that still call that place home. Oh, and perhaps the most important part about this video, if any of you guys watching this have ever stayed at any of these motels here, please feel free to share your stories with us in the comment section down below. Share the year you were there, where you were coming from, and where you were going. We would all like to learn a little bit more about this gem in the deserts. And if you do want to see my full exploration video from my trip here a couple of years ago, be sure to click the video that you see on the screen right here, and it'll keep the adventure going.